It's Sharon Saltis. That may not have been your microphone. I had trouble getting audio too.
It might have just been the service.
It might have been. I had to mess around a bit just to get to hear you guys.
Yeah, it
So,
was really weird. Thank you, though.
Okay, Steve, we're on, so whenever you're ready to start.
Thank you so much. So I'd like to call to order this Thursday, November 2nd meeting of the Norwalk Shellfish Commission. And has attendance been taken?
It has.
And the chair does see a quorum. I'd like to note that we have looks like full attendance tonight. We do. Yep. Thank you all. Approval of the minutes for the October meeting. A motion to approve for someone who attended? Actually, we had no quorum, did we?
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, so we really can't have a vote on that. That would be official. Public comment. We do have one attendee. If she would like to speak, please raise your hand to be recognized by the moderator. And I don't see a hand raised. So we'll move on to the treasurer's report. Please, Bill.
Sure. It's the same as last month. There was no change in the balance at all. So the current balance remains at $26,708.17.
Thank you, sir. Have we basically wrapped up with Fisherman's World for 2023?
Probably not, Steve. I think we probably have some more permits to get.
Okay.
And I did go down and I checked the map inventory I have. I have about 450 maps here. I went down to Fisherman's World yesterday and they have about 50. So we're looking at about 500 right now.
Okay.
I think that's probably enough for another year, but
I think so.
I don't know. Okay.
Yep. And since it is November, I mean, we can bring this up under new business tonight if the commission wishes. But if there are any changes to fees or any other changes associated with recreational permitting, it's not a bad idea to talk about it here. Certainly the next meeting, we would have to authorize the printing. Secretary's report. Couple of things. I mean, one, and sort of related, I'd like to just commend Joe Schneerlein for his long service to Norwalk, 50 years of service to Norwalk, mostly at the educational and most important level there is. And that being said, there is no chair of the Mayor's Water Quality Committee. And now the last 2 months that hasn't taken place. Bill, I just don't know if you had any more intel on where all of that's going.
I don't as of right now. I did inquire to the mayor's office. They said they would get back to me when they have someone elected. So I'm going to try and touch base with them again in a couple of weeks. So I'm hoping that for December we'd have someone.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Sure.
Committee reports, and you again, please, Bill, Department of Health.
Okay, sure. Let's see. Rainfall for October was 3.07 inches. Last year it was 5.43, historically 4.60. There were no bypasses, and we had 4 closures on 10/7, 10/14, 10/20, and 10/29, all due to rainfall amounts, but they were all pretty, only the 29th was just over an inch. The others were just a half inch. That was it. And I think that's it for me.
Okay. Wastewater treatment plant, no report. The Mayor's Water Quality Committee, again, no report. Permits we've discussed. Police, the Marine Unit, Sergeant Pasegli, please, sir.
How you doing, guys? All quiet on our end. Nothing really going on shellfish wise. Water temperature has been like in the low 60s, and it's getting colder, obviously. So don't expect too much going on.
Well, thank you, and be safe regardless of what's going on out there.
Thank you very much.
Advisory, so Sergeant covered the temperature. And Norwalk Harbor Management Commission, Chairman Kibbe. I don't see Jeff tonight, at least so far.
Not so far. Thank you, Commissioner, Chairman Bartosh. Not a lot of activity. I have the honor of attending the stakeholders meeting for the Walk Bridge project the beginning of every month. So we just had a regular meeting on Wednesday. Usually there's a whole lot of detail about what traffic lights at parking lots and things like that. But what I jotted down as sort of significant to us is that they've completed their work at the wetland mitigation site number 2. That's the wetland site behind the mall. It's near the Oyster Shell Park playground and parking lot there, and that's they're complete on that. We also have completed dredging at the alternate vessel location on South Water Street. So the dredging enclosure is being removed if it hasn't been already, and they'll be getting to work on grading the parking lot and fixing up the bulkhead and putting in the docks for the alternate location for the Maritime Aquarium vessel and the Seaport Association vessel for next season. They expect to be done before either of those entities needs to use the alternate docking locations. I guess that's it for me.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Back to advisory, I'd be remiss if I didn't thank Cops Island Oysters and Captain Bloom for populating the recreational beds with some transplant work in the last couple of weeks. I don't know, Pete, if you wanted to add anything specific to thank Norman for?
Well, as you know, he did a couple hundred bushel in Betts Bay, north of the fishing pier. And it was a good mix. I sent you a couple photos of it. I mean, you had quahogs, little necks, cherries. I mean, he had a good mixture of it.
Which is really hard to find, right?
Yeah. So they did pretty good. I went out a couple of times with them when they were distributing it, and they were putting it all over. And they got some on Crow Island, and so it should be good. The good part about Crow Island, if they close the inside, you can still clam there.
Yeah.
That's why we did it. So
If it ever stops.
and other than that, Norman does that sugar kelp, is it?
Yep.
And he was supposed to submit to DEP, and he did all the paperwork and then forgot. So he wondered if us and Harbor Management could send him a little later. Well, I mean, comments regarding him doing it. I have a copy for each of you on it that you could send. One to Harbor Management and one to us, you, Steve.
Yeah. Let's vote on it under new business, Pete. Remind me.
All right,
We'll be quick from here.
that'll be about it.
A motion to accept the committee reports is accepted, please.
I
Motion
make
make
a motion.
second motion.
Okay, got a motion from Pete and seconded by Nick, and all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous. We'll move on to old business, and that, for the most part, will be Mr. Hiltz. John, thank you for attending tonight. I know you had a couple of things to talk about, but before you do, I just wanted to say the 17 Sylvester.
Right.
I thought it better, given everything that's going on in town, just to delay this for a vote tonight. Do you have anything you want to add to that before we do that really quickly?
No, that's fine, Steve. I mean, you guys are all pretty familiar with the proposal. I think you all went out to the site, correct?
Yeah.
Correct.
One of us did. Who did?
Okay.
I don't remember who did. I know Dr. Pinto did as well.
Right.
And
So,
me.
Yep, and you, Nick. Thank you. So what we talked about last month was that it would be standard language, just plus the plug cutting of the pile footprints and transplanting that Pete bog to other places on the
There's,
intertidal.
if you're familiar with the site, there's a couple kind of pathways through, the vegetation that, you can just put it right into there, so that's not a problem.
Right, so let us turn this around. So again, this is 17 Sylvester. It includes our standard language. It has been site inspected by both commissions, and we'll have the extra addition of the plugs being cut in the footprints of the piles for transplantation. May I please have a motion for this? Thank you, Nick. Oh, no, thank you, John. Sorry. And a second?
A
Second
second.
motion.
And I hear Pete, and all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That's unanimous. Okay,
Thank
John,
you.
your new business, please, sir.
And what are we now? I'm sorry, yeah, I didn't have an agenda in front of
Didn't he have another one? I thought, John, didn't you have something else?
me. Hold on, let me look, Steve. Oh, Stro, over next to Coolard.
Yeah,
That's the one, yeah. Well, nothing like a neighbor having a longer dock than you to prompt you to want a longer dock. So, you're familiar with the site. There's basically a 440 dock over there with a boat lift adjacent to it. And on one side, on one adjacent property, the J. Neva Coolard Pier and ramp and floating dock. And then on the other one, there's Dave Woodward's, 440 dock with a boat lift adjacent to that. Stroh's, basically, they bought the property from Tomas. And basically they've lived there for a year, and they contacted me and kind of pointed out that it's kind of an unsatisfactory, access, particularly when you compare it to the adjacent pier ramp and floating dock. So, I come before you with an extension of the pier. DEP looked at it, and they said they definitely want to get your input on this because of the shellfish area. The harder strata, obviously, you're aware, is closer to the shore, and there's definitely oyster growth there. We're basically pushing everything out beyond that. So in that regard, I think it's beneficial for, if nothing else, keeping the area that's propagating the oysters. It's basically removing potential disturbances. If you think about the float going up and down and the boat lift going up and down, there's that aspect that's going to be pushed out towards the softer materials out by the low water line. So that's that I think is a positive. Obviously, the fact that there's a dock there, and you guys probably looked at that pretty carefully when it was originally applied for. I think that it's so many times, and I can't speak to this with any background. I didn't do the permit for the original permit, but so many times these 440 docks, in my experience, is somebody doing this. For example, I know that next door at the Couillards, they did a 440 dock, and then they turned around and they put the property on the market. So that being the case, I think a lot of times these things are just basically window dressing and a placeholder. And I don't think people really, put the thought or the effort into like doing a proper proposal at the time that they do these things. So, that's my 2 cents worth on that topic. But, that whatever, was the thought process then, the current owners, have decided that they want to pursue authorization to do, basically a longer pier, a ramp, and a floating dock, and to relocate the boat lift further outward.
So I didn't make harbor management at the end of October. Was this presented to harbor yet?
No, I don't think they had it. I don't think they looked at it yet.
Okay. I don't think I have the hard copy yet. Personally, I don't. I mean, I'm in Jersey right now and I haven't
Okay,
seen it in the mail, but I think it's out to me, right, Bill? Maybe to all of us?
Yeah, I had sent an email to everybody and I dropped the hard copy off. I think I gave it to your dad, actually.
Okay.
someone's got it.
Where is this?
This is, Pete, this is next. Do you know Dave Woodward's dock over on Tenetta?
18, I think, right?
Yeah,
Yes, it is
Tenetta.
18.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I think we probably should go back and look at it again, to be honest.
No, you know, I mean, I've got
It's
no
shorter.
problem with you
It's
guys
shorter,
going out, checking out the site, by all means. There's still, I think the float's still in, you know, the float's on float stops, the current float is on float stops, so that's good. But again, I mean, you know, the harder surface is closer to where things are now. And then when you know, you get beyond that, it softens up, so.
So physically, how is it getting longer? The piers going out to
The
another set of
pier,
hills?
the pier is going out, you know, we're extending, you know, basically we're, you know, doing a new pier that's, you know, I think the existing one's 9 feet, the proposed one, I believe, is 60.
Say again, please, John?
The existing, I think, is 9 feet, Steve, and the proposed is 60 feet, the pier, the fixed pier itself.
9 to 60 or
Yeah.
6
Well, because the existing one doesn't even come close to the mean low water line.
Okay,
So what we're doing is we're extending the pier to the surveyed mean low water line.
okay.
And does that extend past the neighbors?
No, we're not going any further than the Coulards to the south.
And the shoreline there is pretty straight.
Yeah, actually, you know, yeah, and I mean, you know, as you go south to north, it comes towards land a little bit. You know, it runs in a little bit.
Mhm. You have anything to share on it, John?
Hold on. See if I can make this work, Steve. Hold on. All right, I think I can share a screen, right?
Sure, go ahead, John, whenever you're ready.
Okay, yeah. All right, you all see that?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what we have right now. Here's the existing, right? There's the new pier at Couillard, right? Here's the existing over, you know, at the dock currently. It's a 9-foot long. It's got a 24-foot ramp down to a float. There's the boat, you know, the boat elevator right there. And then adjacent to that, you can see the, you know, the one at Dave Woodward's, similar construction. The boat lift is right, you know, right. They're both very close to the line. I don't know how that got done, but I mean, it's there. So that's the existing. And then, let's see, share, proposed. That work? Stop share. Okay, here's the proposed. You all see that?
Yes.
Okay, so you got a 60-foot pier. You basically take the existing boat elevator and move it out. And we've got a new ramp and a new float. And you can see basically we're in line with the adjacent one to the south. And as I said, the the low water line kind of runs in slightly from south to north.
So the mean water elevation minus 3.7 on the proposed, where was it on the as built?
On the
The previous-
existing,
Yeah,
hold on. It is, I would say you're looking at about 25 feet from the face of the floating dock to the mean low water. 20 to 25 feet.
so it's like a foot difference in elevation, something like this?
You're -3 to -3.7 from the float, but the proposed floating dock, Steve, you go from a -3 at the face to approximately, let me just zoom in on this. You get about a 4.5, -4.5. So you gain about a 1.5 feet.
Okay. Okay, I mean, just open it for discussion amongst the commissioners. In my personal opinion is we just need to go out and see it, just what the new environment's like out there.
I agree.
I agree.
Okay, so we'll set it up with a low tide, John. Sound good?
That's fine. No, that by all means, I wouldn't expect anything less, Steve. That's perfectly all right.
Sorry, why you guys have the diagram up? Just real quickly, you mentioned that 9 feet and then 60 feet. Can you just show me?
Oh, the two differences?
Yeah, sorry, that's
Yeah, sure. So here on the proposed, right? That's a 4x60 pier. Okay, the fixed pier is supported by pilings. Okay. And on the existing, it's just a short pier, 4x9.
The existing didn't come up, John.
All right, hold on.
So, yeah, unshare and then reshare, please.
Yeah, okay, I got you. Okay. Better?
got it.
Gotcha. There's that.
Okay.
Hey, who's your assistant?
Ask her to fix it, Pete.
That's the IT department.
That's right.
No, it's hard with her on my lap trying to do it.
Very
This is
good.
my grandchild.
Yeah, that's great.
That's Caroline.
Those. Dad,
What?
that's her birthday.
Okay.
Thanks, Caroline.
Hi, Caroline.
All right, so
Say
that's
hi.
we'll make that recommendation to
That's
Harbor.
fine, Steve. That's perfectly all right. I imagine the harbor management wants to do so as well, so.
Sounds great. Thank you, John.
Now, before anybody goes anywhere, Pete mentioned Norm's sugar kelp.
Yep.
And he called me on Tuesday and explained the situation. So yesterday, just so you know, I submitted a certificate of permission application at the direction of the DEP to basically reinstate the activity at the formerly authorized location.
So essentially, is this the third identical proposal? So there was one that was originally approved with the former fisherman.
Right,
And-
John Paul Velati had a permit for 2 locations on that ground.
Yep.
450 feet by 600 feet, two of those, 8 strings each. And for whatever reason, the DEP shared with me, kind of an email chain. I don't know what happened. I don't know if somebody just dropped the ball on this or what happened, but in any event, we wouldn't even be having this discussion if John Paul Velati had simply sent an email to DEP requesting an additional 5-year extension of the permit, but he didn't.
Right.
So as a result, permit expired, and I explained this all to DEP, and they shared back with me the email chain saying, what happened here? They didn't know. They said, just send in a certificate of permission to continue the use. We'll fast track it. So that's been submitted as of yesterday.
Okay.
And Sue
So
Jacob-
earlier this year, we did sign off on not a renewal, but it was understood because of whatever legality that Norm had to resubmit de novo. So we did
Right.
we did approve this earlier in 23. So I guess the reason why we need to do it again is a little bit confusing, but that's okay. So the question
It's
is
because what happened, Steve, is you approve the aquaculture aspect of it.
Okay.
DEP has to approve the structure aspect of it.
okay.
So that's what it's all about. The activity is fine. It's the actual hardware that's the problem, or that needs the additional authorization.
Gotcha.
All right. And that's
Yeah.
what Norman thought too. Norman thought he was all covered because he had the application into Dave Carey, the applicant.
Right.
So
Right. It's just a shame they made him do it all over. They couldn't just change the name on the permit. Yeah.
they're working on it.
Yeah. Commissioners, questions, comments for John?
No, just what can we do?
As
to help
I
out
think
the-
Pete's taken care of it. I think Pete's got a draft letter for you all and for harbor management. So I think
mean,
he's got it
we've
all
already-
covered.
Yeah, we've already approved 50% of this evidently in
Right.
terms of the paperwork. There's nothing objectionable. Nothing had changed over Mr. Velati's permit. So,
No,
Pete, is that how you read this?
I just lost me, yes.
I'm sorry, Pete? Hello? We can hear you.
Yeah, I just lost you. I just lost you.
We can hear you.
Can you hear me?
yes.
Oh, good. I just lost a picture. I don't know why, what happened.
Can you hear us, Pete?
Pardon?
Pete,
See you, Pete,
can you
too.
hear us?
I can hear you.
Okay, Pete, do you recognize any difference with this application versus what we saw before?
No, it's all the same.
Okay.
There's a drawing shows it's just about the same. Where they're gonna put the kelp,
Yeah.
sugar kelp lines.
Yeah. I don't
Um,
think we need, go ahead, Pete.
Norman's thought maybe if you guys would send us and harbor management send a letter that you've approved it, that they'll let, make it quicker.
Okay, so Jordan, John, Nick, anything else on this?
No,
No.
If we have to vote, I'm happy to make a motion to have the committee send that letter.
Okay, so the second,
Second.
thank you, Nick, and all in favor.
Aye.
Aye.
Yeah, we'll get that done. That's
All
not a
right.
big,
Thanks,
Thank-
Steve.
not at all.
Thanks, guys.
Anything else under new business, commissioners? Chairman Kibbe, anything we forgot? No, okay, great. Thank you all.
Just one thing, is there anything that we can expect or when we might expect something on Manresa recent news? Or like what involvement do you think that we in harbor management will have? I imagine plenty, but curious if you have any insight.
No, I don't have, nothing has crossed my desk. We'll see if marinas are associated with it, and we certainly will be involved. The positioning of any permanent moorings or marinas will affect the surface area that is not allowed for recreational shellfishing. And the recreational beds associated with west of Cedar Hammock might be involved. Could be quite serious, but premature to say anything.
Walk Bridge project is going to occupy that basin for 4 or 5 years for barges and assembling bridge components on the barges. So I don't think there'll be a master plan or announced for quite a while.
And maybe something will change in the meantime. Just one last thing before closing on new business. Bill has kindly researched having a holiday event that we have not had in years. So we're going to get back together on it. And I just wanted to throw out a few dates, most especially Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, December 4th, 5th, and 6th, with a smaller capacity able to be accommodated at the Norwalk Inn on Monday, the 11th. So we'll get something else out by email the next day or so, but obviously the sooner that we could book that, the better. Anything else you want to say, Bill?
Maybe just one other thing. I talked with Tom about, the kind of getting a little historical perspective on it. And I guess he said that the old owner, who had since passed away at Norwalk Inn, worked with someone else from the commission to kind of arrange it. He did also mention, though, that before Norwalk Inn, they used to go or do it at the Ischota. I guess I don't know what the club, Ischota Club.
Ischota Yacht Club, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you want me to take a look down there and just as a,
Why
another
not?
point of reference. Okay.
Yeah, they have a great chef down there, the former chef from South Norwalk Boat Club.
Okay, I'll reach out to them and inquire and see what they have and get back to you.
Sounds great. It's been a long time coming. Thank you, Bill.
Sure.
Anything else? Motion to adjourn?
Motion to
So moved.
adjourn.
Thank you,
Wait a
Nick.
second, wait a second.
Thank- Go ahead,
Don't
Pete.
you think, should we try and submit a date? Because next month is December. For our meeting,
So we have had the Shellfish Commission meeting at these events,
right?
which I suppose we could do briefly before the festivities start and after we're done shucking oysters and clams. And
Right.
everybody's invited, quote unquote, to that one. It's more mandatory.
Yeah, I think that'd be easier,
Yeah. Yep.
So,
Well,
Yeah,
I'm
our meet-
sorry to interject, but the only thing is, I don't think the 7th was, we are scheduled for December 7th. That's the first Thursday. And that wasn't one of the dates that they had available. So it may
Right, so
not
we
work
have to
out,
move-
at least there anyway.
Or we'd have to move it, right, Bill?
Oh, I guess, or that, yeah.
Okay.
well,
So just-
I mean, we can pick the other dates, but I mean, we'd have to notify everyone.
Yeah, I think with that, we just have to be sure that we can allow for public, you want to make sure that we're still following the same protocol for the meetings. I'm not quite sure we'd be able to do it from there, but we could try it. We'll have to talk about it.
Okay.
Okay,
Either way is
Well,
fine,
we're gonna invite the oystermen like we did before.
of course. And I think retired Sergeant Lepak and Officer Silva should be included in addition to the current Marine Sergeant and officer.
I agree.
I agree.
I was anticipating around 50 people. Does that sound about right, Pete, for the average number?
No, we're usually around 25 or 30. No, I forgot. Yeah, you're around 50 counting harbor management. They usually join us.
Okay, all right, that was the number I was using for the.
Yeah.
with Norwalk.
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll be great. It's just sad we've lost both ends of this, both the Norwalk innkeeper and Pat DeVito. We've lost both of them since the last event.
I know.
Anyway, I have a motion to adjourn from Nick and a second.
I'll second.
Second.
Thank you, Pete, and all in favor.
Aye.
Thank you, everyone.
Have a good Thanksgiving, everybody.
Enjoy. Look for the email on this event, please.
Enjoy.
The holidays.
Good night.
Hey, Steve, I gotta get you this piece of paper and Kippy, this paper.
Okay, I'll
Oh.
see you on the weekend, Pete.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Sounds good.
All right, talk to you later.
You too. Bye-bye.
Steve,
Guys, have a nice one.
Yep, go ahead, Nick.
yeah, I'll be away the 7th through the 11th.
Okay, so we'll try 4, 5, 6.
Perfect.
Yep, sounds good. Nick. Works.
Thank you.
You're
Have a
welcome.
good one.
Yep,
Bye-bye.
later. Bye-bye.
All right, good night, all.